Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are up to the counter argument. So, why do I need it? So, persuasive essays are funny because they require something that doesn't really make sense, the counter argument. This is where you include a paragraph that is the opposite of what you've been arguing the whole time in your essay. So, for example, our topic is, should college tuition be free? So, if you wrote two body paragraphs explaining why college should be free, the counter argument, which would be your third body paragraph, your counter argument is where you're going to talk about why college shouldn't be free. Now, why would you do that? You just spent two body paragraphs talking about why college should be free. So now with your third body paragraph, why would you do this? If you remember in the introduction to persuasive essays, I explained there's no right or wrong answer. So the counter argument is your chance to admit that the topic is a little bit messy. There's not one perfect answer and not one terrible answer. It's all in the middle. And your position, even though this is how you feel that college should be free, well, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. Even if you want college to be free, there are definitely some potential drawbacks to having college be for free. And by admitting that and being honest with your reader, you are seen as more believable. And if you're more believable, people are more willing to trust you, and maybe this helps them change their mind. Okay, let me give you an example that maybe you can relate to. Imagine you have a date coming up and you want to impress that date, so you ask to borrow your dad's car. He's got a nice car, a nicer car than you. You want to impress the date, so okay, hey dad, can I borrow the car? The only problem is that the last time you borrowed it, you came home late and you didn't put any gas in the car and you left it empty. Okay? He knows this, you know this, and ignoring it is not going to help. Just ignoring it, pretending it didn't happen, that's silly. So you admit the weakness of your argument. You admit that this happened. And by doing that, maybe your dad will let you borrow the car. So for example, maybe this is a conversation you had. Dad, listen, I know the last time I borrowed your car, I came home late and I didn't put any gas in it. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. I'm going to a movie with Daniela, this girl I really like, and I'll be home by 11. And this time I promise I'll put gas in the car. Okay, I'm not saying you're going to get the car or not, but I'm saying your dad is much more likely to let you borrow the car because you were honest. You admitted the weakness of your argument. Do you see the other thing that happened in there? Not only did this person who wants their dad's car for a date, not only did they acknowledge it and apologize for it and promise it wouldn't happen again, they minimized the negative aspects of it. So let me show you what I mean here. Okay. Yes. You know, I love templates, and even this has a template. I refer to this as a funny little dance where you admit the weakness and explain it, but briefly. You don't want to spend too much time arguing against your position. Remember, you're already up to your third body paragraph. You've already spent two body paragraphs explaining why you think college should be free. Why undermine yourself? Why minimize the work that you did? So what you're going to do is this. You're going to mention the opposite idea of what you've been talking about. Okay, you're going to admit the weakness. Then you're going to transition to minimize or dismiss the weakness. And this allows you, basically by the end of your paragraph, to come back where you started from. I know this all sounds confusing, but let's look at it. So here's your template, your topic sentence. Oh, and by the way, this paragraph will be about half the size of your normal body paragraphs, maybe even a little bit smaller. Do not think this has to be as chunky as your body paragraphs. So your topic sentence. Critics of this position say, then your second sentence explains that. They claim, and then you give a little more information about the opposite of what you've been arguing. But then in the middle of the paragraph, you transition. However, this is very similar to the compare contrast essays, where you had one thing on the top, then you transitioned, and then you talked about the second thing on the bottom. This is just the however is a signal to your reader, hey, I'm changing directions, follow me. So the second half of the counter argument now, you can now deal with some of the larger issues. And I use the transition word of moreover. More importantly, there's a number of different words you can use, and they're explained on the wiki further. But for here, I'm just going to use moreover, and then your concluding sentence allows you to end with therefore. I know that's confusing. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how this works. Okay, let's take a closer look at that template. Notice the topic sentence. Critics of this position say. Right out of the gate, you are clearly letting your reader know that this is not what you think. Other people say this. This is a weakness of your position. The second sentence, they claim. Again, it's not you. It's those crazy people over there who are saying this. Okay, and think of this sentence as the explanation for the first one, like we've been doing in our body paragraphs. And two sentences against your position, that's plenty. Plenty. You don't want to oversell it. Now you transition. There are a couple of different expressions, but however works well, right? You need to let your reader know that you are now changing directions in the middle of the paragraph. Again, this is very similar to compare contrast. The moreover sentence is your chance to bring up the larger issues at play. For example, free college could mean a better economy. And then the last sentence is your concluding sentence, and you return to what you've been talking about before this crazy paragraph. And yes, I know it's crazy. Okay, I have two examples here. The first one is the counter argument that you would put in the pro paper, meaning this is your third body paragraph. You already have two body paragraphs saying why college should be free. One reason college should be free is, another reason college should be free is, Third body paragraph, counter argument. Critics of this position say that college shouldn't be free. They claim that taxes would need to be increased to help pay for everyone's college. However, this cost might be offset by having millions of college graduates. Moreover, think about the economic impact that would happen by having such an educated workforce. Therefore, college tuition should be free. One example, I followed the template, you can check. So now the second example would be if you were writing that college shouldn't be free. You would writing the con paper. So in this example, you have two body paragraphs. First one, college shouldn't be free because. Second body paragraph, college shouldn't be free because. You get to the third body paragraph, and now you're going to start the counter argument. Critics of this position say that college should be free. They claim that millions of college graduates would have a long-term impact on the economy. However, the cost is simply too great. Moreover, taxes would surely go up. If not, essential services like police and fire would be limited. Therefore, college tuition should not be free. Listen, I know this is confusing, but I had to explain this to you because you will be asked at some point in your college future, probably next semester, to write an essay with a counter argument. So, because of all this craziness, we didn't get to spend as much time working on it together, but feel free to come back and look at this next semester when you're required to write this. Okay. It's late. I'm going to sleep.